What is going on there, everyone? Well, this is a message to all aspiring journalists. When you have such a derangement syndrome towards someone that you intend on making a story about, that you throw all journalistic integrity and procedures and protocol just out the window because you are assuming instead of actual fact gathering. Let this be a warning. It's not like it should be a warning. We've seen over hundreds of incidents like this since 2016, so it's just another one to chalk up to failing media. This woman right here, beautiful woman, but excellence in journalism, I think not. Reporter buried in deep shame after claiming Trump spent Thanksgiving tweeting, golfing, and more. Newsweek political correspondent Jessica, I don't know if that's Kwong or Wong with the silent K. I'm going to say Kwong. Reported Thursday that Trump was spending Thanksgiving tweeting, golfing, and more. The more did not include the president secretly flying to Afghanistan to surprise troops in America's longest-running war. Kwong also initially failed to mention that Trump served turkey and mashed potatoes to the military service members before eating the holiday meal with them. He later announced a resumption of peace talks with the Taliban. I'm not a big fan of that because I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but diplomacy. What can you do? News of Trump's Afghanistan visit broke just a couple hours after Kwong tweeted out her article, and the backlash was brutal. Good! The backlash should be brutal, because you're a journalist, an award-winning journalist, and you're not following any of the ethics practiced in journalism. So, yeah, that's what you get. The reporter's tweet was bombarded with thousands of replies calling her out for her anti-Trump bias and fake news reporting. Oof. Quote the ratio, observed town writer Julio Rosas. But I don't feel bad for this lady one bit, because that statement summed it up. Thousands of replies calling her out for her anti-Trump bias and fake news reporting. Yeah, good. Call them out. Rub it in their face as hard as you can, because these journalists who are supposed to be bringing us factual information are so mired in their own personal opinions that they don't know what factual information is anymore, and that is a danger to themselves and to society as a whole. Kwong, who describes her job on Twitter as covering Trump administration and family, later deleted the tweet. In a follow-up post, she defended her inaccurate report as an honest mistake and pointed to a revised version which details Trump's day in Afghanistan. It wasn't an honest mistake. It was a very, very biased mistake that was purposeful. You were just trying to dig on Trump without doing your job as a journalist. You probably had this story pre-written out. Most likely. Because no one wanted to work on Thanksgiving, myself included. So, yeah, you probably had a pre-written story that you press send and poof, off into the ether it goes. Trump heading to Afghanistan to surprise U.S. troops on Thanksgiving, Newsweek.com. Deleting this tweet because it was written before knowing about the president's surprise visit to Afghanistan, an honest mistake. Story has already been updated as shown in the screenshot. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you updated the story. We're seeing constant clarifications from news agencies and corrections because first you put out fake news, and that's generally what gets the most traction, is the nonsense story you put out, because no one ever sees the correction. Because the corrections are issued in extraordinarily fine print a day or two after it was initially published. A day or two after everyone already read the initial story. So they're going off in their world. They've just read your fake story. Go off and spread that around, oblivious to the fact that there was a correction made. And that's how you sow the seeds of misinformation and discontent in the people. Some commenters thanked Kwong for setting the record straight, But many others said she would not be so easily forgiven, nor should she be easily forgiven. I understand it's easy to make a mistake here and there. Got it. No problem. But when you're reporting on the President of the United States, tighten up, people. It's kind of important. New York Post op-ed editor, Jesus, what is up with all these names? Do we have any Americans in journalism nowadays? Like any, American named people? Excuse me. I know that'll trigger some people. Yes, I understand these people are Americans, but gosh, their names are very hard for me to pronounce. Sorry. Sohrab Ahmari? I'm going to go with that. Sohrab Ahmari tweeted, "In a sane world, a journalistic blunder on this scale would send Jessica Kwong researching and rethinking things." Or soul searching. I said researching. But that might help too. And rethinking things. It would be a source of deep shame. However, he predicted she would instead fail up. Neat. Amari went on to note that Newsweek failed to actually correct Kwong's article, instead calling the total reversal of her reporting an update. Yeah, it wasn't a correction. They don't like to issue corrections because then they have to, in saying correct, they have to admit fault was made. You know what I'm saying. It's sad. The state of journalism in the United States in 2019 is pathetic. You get better journalistic integrity from 4-year-olds. Others noted Kwong's history of Trump-critical reporting and tweets, linking it to a broader bias at Newsweek and across the media. Yeah, Newsweek is, for the most part, garbage. I will use them, but generally, it's garbage. In the real world, after mingling and posing for selfies with the troops at Bagram Airfield, Trump delivered a speech in an airplane hangar. "When our enemies hear the sound of your jets, the terrorist blood runs cold because they know their demise is near," he said. God bless him. And that's true. Our planes can see people on the ground when the people on the ground can't even see our planes. It's beautiful. It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying to know that could come for you. But since it's not pointed at us, it's not that bad. But back to the story. Yeah, she screwed up pretty bad. And she should be drugged through the dirt for it. But not too bad. I mean, come on. She does have an anti-Trump bias. I get it. But, yeah. Old Flippy Floppy made some noise here. Heh. Neat. But, yeah. What do you expect? What do you expect from these Trump derangement people? I expect nothing better from them. That's why most people don't pay attention to the media anymore. Or they go through multiple sources to try to, this person's saying this person's saying this person's saying this. Let's read them all and then come up with our own opinion. That's a good way of doing it too. But yeah, shameful. Truly shameful. Love to hear your comments, and as always, like, share, and subscribe. I will catch you all on the flip side.